Let's learn the analysis of the poem, which will help us to write the answers effectively. We'll learn the theme of deception and manipulation. The central narrative, luring, that means deceiving innocent oysters for a walk and then eating them, is a metaphor, that means unparalleled comparison for false charm and hidden motives of the walrus and the carpenter. The walrus uses rhetorical distraction with his talk of many things like the shoes, cabbages, kings, etc. to mount predatory intentions, showing how persuasive speech can mislead. That means how the praising speech of the walrus misguided the young oysters, and the ultimate consequence was their fatal death. Next, there is innocence versus experience. The young oysters represent naivete, that means inexperience and trust, while the eldest oyster remains silent and skeptical, that means doubtful about the behavior of the walrus and the carpenter, and therefore it embodies, that means conveys the wisdom and the caution. The contrasting reactions highlighting the vulnerability of youth and the tragic result of ignoring the experience. What was the tragic result? Their death. Next, we'll go to the third theme, that is absurdity and inverted logic. The sun shining in the middle of the night, cabbages and the kings and the pigs with wings, all are impossible things, all reinforce a nonsense world, that means fantastical world where rules are twisted. That means the natural rule is not followed up. Now, Caron's use of fantastical imagery or skeptical imagery creates a surreal setting, that means fantastical setting that allows moral boundaries to blur. Mirroring, that means reflecting real world trickery in playful form. Let's learn the fourth theme, that is moral ambiguity. The walrus expresses sympathy. The carpenter stays silent and eats. Neither is innocent. That means neither the walrus nor the carpenter is depicting the innocence here, because they are very much cruel in nature and they depict the hypocrisy, and consequently they caused the fatal death of that young oysters. Now we need to understand the fact that their behavior raises the question. What question? Can charm marks cruelty? That means can the appreciation is hiding under the violent intentions of cruelty? Is silence complicit? That means is the silence of that Carpenter is very much complicated. Now, the ambiguity prompts readers to reflect on how morality is portrayed versus practiced. Let's understand the fifth theme, that is satire of political or social figures, which is speculative as well. Though Carroll denied direct allegory, some interpret the walrus and the carpenter as representing public figures or systems that consume the masses while offering false empathy or stoic detachment. That means generally you have seen some political leaders always offers the false empathy for the loss of the victims, but consequently they wish to have the personal gain from them. Thus, the oysters, or like the ordinary people, are seduced and devoured by seemingly the civilized companions like the other political leaders who were corrupted. Now we'll learn about the style and the literary devices. Here the rhyme scheme, as the poet has used regular rhyme, creates a musical quality that is lulling readers like the oysters. Lulling means here nurturing, or we can say easily making them guile. Now after that narrative voice, it is detached and playful. It is heightening the dark twist when the oysters are eaten. Next is figure of speeches. Here the rich use of personification, irony, hyperbole and symbolism is explored by the poet. Now the tone of the poem, it starts with whimsical tone. Why? Because in the beginning we understand that the sun is shining at midnight, which is completely fantastical or whimsical, and ends tragically. Why? Because it caused the fatal death of that oysters. Now it is a shift that embodies or conveys the comic horror. So through this we have completely understood the tone of the poem and that rhetorical qualities. Now we'll move to the symbolic interpretation. Which element is used here? Here the element remains very much symbolic in meaning, and we'll now understand the characters like the sun and the night. Sun and night. It is the inversion of natural order and it is false clarity. Now the walrus is conveying the charming deceiver, and walrus is feigned in morality. That means the walrus is an representative of charming deceiver and feigned morality. Carpenter is the representative of cold pragmatist and silence executioner. Oysters remains innocence and blindly trusting authority. Sea and sand, it represents the emotional vastness or spiritual vulnerability. So, through this, we have understood about all the characters and the elements used in this poem. Dear students, we have learned the complete analysis of the poem here. In our next video, we will come with the most important figure of speeches which are used in this poem. So, dear students, if you find this content really helpful for you, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe because your one like will cost nothing but will motivate us for the further interactive contents. Thanks for watching, dear students. Have a nice time ahead. And if you have yet not watched the line by line explanation and the summary of this poem, you can check the playlist for Oxford Reading Circle Class 6. Okay, dear students, we'll meet soon in the next video. Thanks for watching. Have a nice time ahead. Goodbye, everyone.